All right, Tim, if you could go ahead and give us a count us in for the clap sync.
Adam,
What?
you can see me, right?
Yeah.
Is there a monitor in front of you?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, we don't need to do it.
nope. Okay, Tim, did you hear about Matt Cardona making his debut for AEW, bro?
I don't know that name. Don't give a fuck.
You might recognize his other name, Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder debuted in AEW. Oh my god, we gotta talk about all this.
Oh, Tim, why'd you stop? What did you find on your phone?
Drew McIntyre lost his kitty last night.
Oh, that's horrible. That's tragic. That sounds like something 5G would do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
And this week, there's no delay between us talking for a change.
Yeah, because a Florida man got kicked out of Florida for being healthy and smart.
And staying inside and wearing a mask.
Yeah, I got kicked out.
They did not like that.
They did not like the fact that I was actually healthy.
God.
Fuck you, Florida. And that's mostly because of the fucking humidity down there.
Yes, I know. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Fuck humidity.
Yes. Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tim's back in the studio, and we got a great show for you this week. Let's see. What else?
We actually have a show?
We have a show. We do. Let's go ahead and, yes, Matt Cardona made his debut at AEW Dynamite this week.
And it fell absolutely 100% flat.
That's because there wasn't an audience there.
I know. Because, personally, I do have a little bit booking of how his, they came out. He came out through the babyface tunnel.
Yeah.
I will admit, I do like the idea of the babyface and heel tunnels.
Yes.
Overall. I do like that. But he came out from the back, and then jumped in the ring, beat up John and Alex Silver, because it's two jobbers.
Oh, John Silver. That man, okay, I gotta, before you go any further, the man did a wonderful job of trying to keep his composure on BTE this week, to the point that he was like hard corpsing. Ah, man, that was a great moment. The fact that Brody like had to pick up his face and be like, "Are you crying?" And he's like, "No, you're crying."
Yeah, but the fact that it was like two jobbers who were attacked. Yes, Cody was exhausted from his title defense. I understand that. Yeah. But it was two jobbers. He came from the back. And the fact that there was like no real pop, because if it was a big crowd, he would have gotten a huge pop.
Because Zack is over with the internet audience. Yes. And it seems to be that AEW definitely does cater to the internet audience.
Yeah. We got a pop there. And just like when he did his finisher, the Rough Rider, or I don't know what he's going to be calling it now.
The reverse famouser?
Yeah. It just didn't look as good as I've seen him do it before.
No.
I mean, because they're doubling on the stage and using mostly that angle because you don't have much in the crowd. You can't shoot moves that need a certain angle at times.
Right.
I've always been a fan of that move. So
I mean, it's better than Randy Orton's first finisher.
Yeah, the leg neck break. Zack used that move too at one point.
Yes, he did. It's not a bad move.
Oh no, he did a different version of it.
Yeah.
He put his knee in the back of your neck and you rolled onto his back.
Yes.
Where Randy put your neck on his back of his calf.
And he landed with the knee down.
Yeah, it was like dumb.
Weird.
Anyway, but I've always liked that move. I thought it was a great move, but you definitely gotta shoot it in a certain angle.
Yep.
And it definitely comes off. It's like the RKO.
Yeah.
It looks so much better when you do it out of nowhere. You show them getting up, and then all of a sudden you cut to the angle as he's coming in. It looks so much better.
Yeah, the first one, I believe the first one was done on Silver.
Yeah.
Silver did a great job of selling it.
They both did a good job of selling them. It's just
The timing on the second one was just a hair off.
They both. It seemed odd to me. I think possibly because we haven't seen Zack Ryder hit this move
In
years. Maybe on main event when he was doing those before he got released, he got to hit it.
Who pays attention to main event?
I know.
Maybe international audiences.
But it was like I'm glad he's there. He deserves to be there because he was definitely he started the YouTube trend before most YouTubers did.
Yeah.
He caught on to that and got over there.
He got over with an internet audience when he was working for a company that hated it.
Yep.
That hated when you would purposely get yourself over with the fans.
I mean, he got himself over to the point where The Rock was standing in the ring at Survivor Series and the fans were chanting for Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
So,
it's wonderful to see.
I'm glad he's there, but I didn't like overall because it felt hollow and just felt fake and too planned. And I don't know what it was. He deserves to be there. It was great to see him, but I will say this: damn, that boy's jacked.
Yeah. So WWE is obviously the land of giants, and being constantly seeing this level of giant, you don't notice. Like, I didn't realize when I saw Shawn Spears, in AEW, I was like, that dude is more jacked than I thought he did with NXT and WWE main roster, because he's slightly smaller than everyone else, but he's still a jacked dude.
Yeah, it's a visual illusion because you're surrounded so many big people. And the way they shoot, even when they're not against a bigger person, the image can overlap and everything. It's just you seem like they're smaller. Then he shows up. Let's also remember, same with Shawn Spears, same with Matt. They had 90 days of not working.
They got big.
And it's a pandemic going out there. You're not going places.
You're working out at home.
So, and Zach or Matt, his place is in Orlando.
Yeah.
So he has a 2-hour drive to Jacksonville.
Oh, that poor dude. Such a long drive to get to.
I know.
AEW studios.
It's actually a nice drive because I just drove it.
It's not that bad.
Of course, I drove mine at midnight because
There's no traffic?
Well, no, I packed my car last Sunday.
Yeah.
From after 5. I got it packed. I was exhausted. I was carrying 60-pound plastic bins with notebooks and books in it to my car.
I'm so sorry, bro.
Luckily, it was down 3 flights of stairs. When I moved down there, I had to move them up there.
Yeah.
But no, I had it packed, and I was like, I thought I was gonna I'll sleep no problem. I went to bed a little before 8. I have a snooze alarm on my phone that bases on your rhythm, so it wakes you up within your 30 minutes of your time frame. You want to wake up based on your most awakeness. So when you wake up, you'll wake up more refreshed and more awake in your sleep cycle. Well, and it shows you when you're. And I dove down, came back up right around the time I had to get up because I had to pee. Went back, fell back to sleep. Didn't go as far as deep. Woke back up about an hour and a half later because I had to pee. Didn't really get because I drank so much water.
You shouldn't be drinking a gallon of water before going to bed. It's a bad idea.
This was from drinking water while packing because it was fucking humid outside.
Yes, it was.
So I couldn't sleep, so I just said, you know what? There's no point of staying. After about 11, almost midnight, I was like, okay, I might as well just go. I had my stuff already there. I just went down, I left, but yeah, it was better to drive at night. No, I don't blame you. But it's a nice little drive there, and if you don't get hit in too much traffic, it's not too bad. No. I can imagine Zach probably has a nice car too to drive that in. At least a decent vehicle. Yeah. So, but no.
Turns out that he's totally Floridian. Yeah. He's got a jacked up 350.
Okay, just remember this. He's from Long Island, who lives in Florida.
That's also why he has a jacked up 350. It's because it's actually a Long Island type of vehicle. He's like, nah, bro, I got this.
No, see, I can see him in real life he's a Long Island boy trying to be a Floridian.
Okay, all right.
That should be his new gimmick.
All right, I like that. I like that new one.
But yeah, he was jacked. So, and we all knew he was going to be and when he got signed, he was going to go. I do still think Impact for a year would have been a nice spot for him.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad spot.
But he's there. Great. Let's show what he can do. Show that is over. Still over. Fans will remember him and want him where he is. But there's just something about the way he did it. And partly it was because there's not enough people there to pop or everything.
Exactly.
And the right crowd there, and just it did feel a little stinted, a little too much. But overall, you can't always have the epic.
No,
it's hard to have an epic debut when you have a pandemic and you can't have
a full house there for it.
I mean, think of Brody Lee when he debuted.
Exactly. If he was Matt Hardy.
Yeah, when he was in Rochester, if they actually were to do that show in Rochester, and he
it would have been huge.
His pop would have been huge. Unfortunately, this was before they actually started putting people in the crowd. Yeah. So it's like the second week or so, like before they started putting people down there, I believe. You just didn't have. He just didn't get that pop, but he would have gotten again a huge pop to debut in his hometown. Yep. So it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But I'm glad to see he's there. Which I will say this fulfilled Tony's promise. Because Tony said the last few people they've signed for AEW have been not being named. Many people may have heard of them. He said that the next few we will be hiring people will be a little bit more recognizable, as he said. And you can't get more recognizable, in a sense, the people who were released from WWE than Matt Cardona. No. The only person I think you could get a little bit more of is because of who he is Miro. A.K.A. Rusev. Who apparently is not going to wrestle anymore.
He made that announcement, and honestly, I believe his claim of not wrestling anymore. I don't believe his. Okay, wait. Let me work this out in my head for a second. I believe CM Punk's never going to wrestle again more than I believe Rusev will never wrestle again. Yeah. And I don't believe either one of them right now. With Phil waiting on probably the best deal for him, which would be, 17 show. Basically, I know Phil is kind of holding out for Lesnar style contract.
I think if he's
not Lesnar money, but
no, I think if he comes back, he'll come back. It will be it won't be a long return. It'll be like, I'm coming back to retire officially how I want to retire. Yes. Go against some of these names that people have been saying we want to see, whether it be WWE or AEW. I think it would be more like AEW because I don't think WWE.
I would like to see CM Punk come in specifically to have a run. Right away. He goes right into it with we'll say Chris Jericho.
No, you gotta save that. You don't do a feud we've already seen on WWE for your first feud with on AEW. Okay. Have him come in and work a program with Hangman Page.
Okay. I would like for him basically to go through all of the big names. Yeah. And then during this time also, we've been building up Kenny Omega to be back at the best bout machine that he's been known for. Sorry, and they put on the greatest show ever.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Not Hangman Page.
Moxley?
We've seen that program. It's Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose and that would have been super early because
it was because he was still part of the Shield.
Well, yeah, and he was only.
They didn't have to do
Punk left within months of the Shield coming in. No. Shield was 2013 SummerSlam.
No. They came in at Hell in a Cell.
So that was October.
Yes.
Of 2013. Phil left in March of 2014. You're talking
about 2012. No, because here's the funny thing. No, because he came in. He was there for an entire year because one of his last programs was the Shield when they were ready to start to break up the Shield before they put them back together to do the feud with the Wyatts. Then with the Authority.
November 2012.
Told you.
And it was Survivor Series.
That's right. I knew it was one of those because it was Ryback they helped.
And yeah, because it was early. It was right soon after the Royal Rumble of 2014 that CM Punk was just like, I'm out.
It was the next night.
Oh yeah, it was. So yeah, it was like just the 1 year of 2013.
Yeah, and I mean he had the triple threat, the 3-on-1 match at TLC the following year.
Yeah.
Against them that he won, and they kept telling him, dude, make sure you put these guys over, but you're gonna win. And it's like, well, if you want to put them over, then have them win. Like, no, let me get. We're letting you win because they were trying to play KZ like because they didn't want him to be mad that that they were being buried. He's like, but you want me to put these guys over, so let them fucking win. That's how you get them over. It's like, but we're letting you win. It's like they didn't. Yeah. But anyway, so we've had. I don't know if they had any direct one-on-one matches. If they did, it was on Raw. But like, so yes, you could definitely do that because it's at the height now that Moxley is at. Yes. Absolutely. But no, the person you gotta do, because we did not see this matchup. CM Punk versus Mr. Lee. Mr. Brody Lee.
Mr. Lee.
Mr. Brody Lee.
Brody Lee.
I'm sorry. I don't know why, but I keep confusing.
You know, it's Thursday. You know what that means.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then you could work into, then you could go to Moxley, you could eventually do Jericho.
Yeah.
You could do Hangman, you can do Cody.
Basically have a 1 year span where it's like he is just defeating. He is showing why he is nicknamed the best in the world.
Yep.
He is the best there. You know, yes, at some point you have to have against Chris Jericho, whose nickname was the best there is at what he does.
Yeah.
Even though he's not Wolverine, they already have Brian Cage, the Swolverine.
I know.
And I would like to see a CM Punk Brian Cage match.
Oh, by the way, so you want to see CM Punk take on a guy named Brian in a cage match?
Yes.
Because that's what it sounded like when you said, I want to see CM Punk versus Brian cage match. I'm like, you want a cage match with a guy named Brian?
Just any dude named Brian.
Yeah.
In fact, I want it to be set up that way so that when people read it, they think it's CM Punk versus Brian Cage in a match. When in fact it's CM Punk versus Brian
in a cage match.
In a cage match.
It's a cage match. It's just like it's poor editing. Oh, by the way, Taz, I didn't hear this, but I actually haven't seen the clip where he says this. But the fact that you said you are so over on Brian Cage's traps, they're swollen. Oh my God, they're swollen. That was awesome.
All right. Okay. You know what? We're gonna let that one go for a moment. In fact, I really feel also that the AEW needs to bring Jeff Cobb back and have him in a match against Brian Cage, so we can get a rematch of their Lucha Underground match.
Oh yeah.
Because both men can move in that ring, and I keep forgetting that Brian Cage. Yes, he's a big man. But he is an athlete. I like in wrestling, if you move a lot as a big man, you're called an athletic big man.
I know.
I'm like, really?
No, that's only in WWE, though.
Yeah, but...
Because everyone's seen a big man like Brian Cage on the indie scenes.
Luchasaurus.
Yeah, who can move.
Who cannot do a Canadian destroyer, though.
So it'll be interesting to see overall. But yes, congratulations for... Matt Cardona. What's on the docket next?
We have further congratulations right now for FTR signing a multi-year deal with AEW.
Wow, that's good.
Yes.
About fucking time.
So it looks like they're going to be sticking around. I can't wait to see what we're going to do with them as characters going forward. I love the fact that they are this generation's Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Thank you.
You do realize that those two are actually in the company, so they can't be them.
No, they are this generation's version of
I know. But no, congratulations on that. I loved how in the angle on last night's AEW, they actually brought Arn Anderson in to look over the contract from a tag team standpoint. So I was like, that's cool, a nice little move there.
Yeah.
I love how they keep portraying these guys as like they are heels. But they're baby faces because they keep coming out and helping the elite and everything. But you're just waiting for that moment
that they turn on them.
Yeah,
and you can see that that character-wise, that the Young Bucks are also waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we know you're going to turn on us. And FTR is just like, what are you talking about? We are literally coming out here to help you guys because, I mean, it would be great if FTR at some point was just like, we keep coming out to help you guys because you're the EVPs. You're literally our bosses.
Yeah.
We want you guys to stay safe until we turn on you. I mean, what? Who said that? Like, I would love for them to do that and like either Cash be the one that like looks directly at Dax and just like, no, dude.
See, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it'd be funny if the turn came, whereas the Young Bucks turn on them because they're just like they know they just
and
feel
they're just
it.
like, if we don't do it, they're gonna do it, and we need to do it first.
Yeah. But it would be interesting to see what happens with this. Like the idea that they're hinting at Kenny's the one who turns on Adam. I won't be surprised if in the next few weeks we start to get some hints that Paige may turn on Kenny again, just to go out there. Okay, which way are they gonna go?
What I would like is not necessarily a turn by Adam on Kenny, but more Adam just goes, fine. You know what? I don't want to be part of this anymore.
Yeah.
Like I got wrangled in to being your tag team partner because you wanted me to stay as part of the Elite. I don't want to be part of this anymore. And that's what causes Kenny to just attack him.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I mean, in a way, we got Adam turning on him, but it was more of Adam just being like, I don't want to be part of this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
I want to go have fun. And FTR looks fun right now. Private Party was fun. They got me drinking again. It's not water.
It's not water. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with this overall. But yeah, so congratulations on that. It's about damn time. And once the international limitations and everything, you'll know we'll probably see them show up in Japan.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that they were looking at was exclusives for the U.S., but they wanted to be able to go and work other places in the world.
All right. Because we know that the Good Brothers have signed with Impact and still have a deal to be able to go to Japan.
Yes.
And right now, travel worldwide is weird, and we can't really do it, and because the U.S. can't get its binky in the right spot. We're acting like a bunch of babies right now. But once all this is cleared up, you know that the Good Brothers are going back to Japan.
Yep.
What if you have FTR show up and they immediately go after the Gorillas of Destiny? Like, immediately. They're like, no, you've got the belts. We don't give a crap about anybody else in this company. Like, Okada's standing right next to them and like, really? Shut up, Okada. You're nothing. Just like kind of one of those things.
Like, you're not in the tag division. We don't give a fuck.
You're not in our division.
Yeah. Go.
just go away. And GOD loses their belts to FTR. The Good Brothers come in and go, hey, young guys, GOD, let the Good Brothers take care of this for you. Thinking GOD's going, the guys who got us our start where we are, they're gonna go and beat them up so that in a couple of weeks we can get those belts back. Good Brothers immediately are like, no, we're coming after the belts.
Yeah, like we're here for
just middle finger back out to Tama Tonga. No, and by the way, your shotgun cutter, it's terrible. You need better rifle management, barrel management. Come on, man, it's not all over the place. Just bow, bow, bow. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. And yes, we do know because Carl Anderson mentioned how they have come to terms with New Japan.
Yes.
They just can't go back because going over to Japan, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. You'd have like a week of shows maybe, and then you come back to the U.S. and you have to quarantine for another 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And then, which is a month out of your time that you can't do anything.
Exactly.
So it's just like, no.
Exactly. It's crap. Right now, it's not economically worth the effort.
No.
Because we all know how wrestling works. Your employer's not paying for your hotel for those 2 weeks.
No.
You are.
Yep.
And that no one's going to spend money on a hotel for 2 weeks just to hang out for a little while.
Yeah.
and then go to work for a week unless that money for that week is able to pay for the hotel for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, coming back home, you're, quarantine for 2 weeks is basically at home.
Yeah.
You're like, I can do that. I'll stay home. Man, do you know how easy that would be for me? I've only been doing it since March. I'm home.
You mean March of 2010?
Shut up. Just because I don't go out anywhere.
Exactly. Unless you have to go to work, you're quarantining yourself from people.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What? No, I don't like people. I mean, what? No.
Well, one of these days I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna see you start pissing into soda bottles.
I am not going for a Howard Hughes. I'm not going that far.
Oh, by the way, Adam, I had a question about this.
I get rid of my bottles.
I've noticed this. A giant case of Monster got delivered today.
Yeah.
So is there something you want to tell me about about that?
No, I bought that. That we never got the contract for the what's the word I'm looking for here?
Advertisement?
Yeah, we never got no sponsorship. That's the word. We never got it. So all that time that I was saying, Monster, unleash the beast. It didn't work. It didn't work. I even had to pay for shipping and handling. Okay.
What's that check that has the Monster logo on it in front of you? Wait, did I see one with an AEW logo?
Nope, not at all. Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna need to talk about this. Oh, by the way, I got a question. Did you say Monster?
Look, because we're not sponsored, I don't do it. And the last time I did it, I almost had a heart attack because I went through 7 cans of Monster. 16-ounce cans, 473 milliliters of sweet, sweet Monster goodness. Unleash the beast. It fell through horribly.
Wait, why did you just say all that stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about. Original flavor only for this guy.
Why are you saying that? Okay, we're gonna talk about this off later.
I mean, all right. That's cool. Anyway, we got to go over the ratings. They have come out. We of course are recording this on a Thursday. It's being posted on a Saturday. Shut up, okay?
It's not like Adam doesn't have the time to get it up.
It's weird. I have been home for... I went to work for about a month, and then we had to re-close down because of customers. But being home and having all of this time, suddenly I don't have time to do things because I'm just like, oh yeah, I've got plenty of time to get to that. Look at my watch. Crap, it's 8 p.m. I haven't put up today's episode. I haven't edited today's episode. I'll put it up tomorrow. That's why, last week, Tuesday, I put three uploads in one day. This week, I forgot Sunday's episode went up on Monday. Monday's was on Tuesday. Wednesday got 2 episodes.
Yeah, see, unlike you, I would never miss my upload time if I had a video to go up live.
By the way, where's this week's episode of Total Extreme Wrestling Fantasy Booking with Tim?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a show with...
Sorry, Total Extreme Wrestling Fantasy Booking of AEW?
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about TEW, Fantasy Booking AEW?
Yes, I am talking about that. Where was yesterday's episode?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. Just like I've never received sponsorship money from the Khan family or the McMahon family, ever. Or did I?
We will talk about this.
No, I didn't. I'm still incredibly poor.
Sure.
I'd love... You know what, guys? I'm going to say this right now. You're a half hour into the episode. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel because we need subscribers. We're hitting the mark for minutes played. We've hit that mark, but we need 913 subscribers to be able to get this channel monetized. Tell your friends to subscribe to this channel.
Well, there goes 3 of our 5
Most likely.
Constant listeners.
Whatever. Anyway, but yes, we got to go over the Wednesday Night War ratings. AEW versus NXT.
There's a war going on? What war did I...
The Wednesday Night Wars.
So the war was only fought on Wednesday? That sounds like a stupid war.
It is. It's kind of weird. It only happens for about 2-ish hours every week, too.
It sounds even dumber. That sounds like a Trump thing.
Oh, God damn it.
I couldn't resist.
All right. Well, there we lost one of the other viewers on this.
Hey, you lost us 4. I could at least lose 1.
But we only had 6.
So, you lost 4. I lost 1. We have 1 still.
We have 1. Hi, Mom. How's it going? Anyway, ratings. AEW again won this week. They dropped, but they did win.
Are you surprised?
Not entirely. They are currently 34-8-1 since starting up their TV show. In 2 of those weeks that NXT won, AEW wasn't on the air. So it's truly 34-6-1. But I digress. AEW dropped by 72,000 viewers this week. NXT gained 92,000 viewers.
That's cool.
Bringing them up to 707,000 viewers total. Though, 1.48 million. It's actually a jump overall by about 20,000 over last week.
That's good.
I like it. It's a good thing.
Overall, it was almost as high as Raw's rating.
Yes, which is kind of sad because
so sad.
This is 2 wrestling shows that don't have a true built-in audience because they've been around for a while. Raw has a built-in audience because it's been around for over 25 years now. Look, all I gotta say, people go out and start watching. Watch more. Watch Impact. Watch AEW Dynamite. Watch NXT.
That's actually a good transition there because with the ratings and everything, dealing with Raw and everything, because today is actually WWE's second quarter earnings call.
Ooh,
and there was an article that was released last night.
I've got the article up right now from Wrestling Inc.
Yeah, it talked about a company dove into the WWE, and they made an interesting conclusion that they cannot recommend buying this stock for a specific reason. Well, I wonder what this reason could be.
So the story was actually published by Variety Magazine and Lightshed Partners. So
Lightshed Partners was the people who did the surveying. Variety is an entertainment magazine for the it's one of the standard magazines for basic entertainment. Like if you want to learn about who's being hired for film and all that, you watch
they're honestly, in my opinion, Variety is number 2 behind the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah,
the Hollywood Reporter is kind of like the original dirt sheet.
Hollywood Reporter and Variety, they're back and forth. Like if you live in LA, you can get these things off the street for free.
But yeah, it looks like Lightshed Partners is a investment consulting firm. They much like the Motley Fool, if you've ever heard about them, they give suggestions over their own internal. They track stocks and companies.
A lot of people do this. Like there's a lot of companies out there, and this is what investors will look at for recommendations on stuff. Stockbrokers will will see what these people are saying to recommend, and they said not to recommend WWE for a specific reason.
Lightshed took a look at WWE stock this week and noted that they could not recommend a buy right now because of too many critical questions surrounding the company, mainly WWE's creative direction and whether there will be a significant rebound in the TV ratings, even in a post-coronavirus world. Instead of focusing on the long-term health of the company and building a product that audiences want to watch, both McMahon and investors have put all their eggs in the TV revenue basket. That was from Gavin Bridge, wrote on Variety. Bridge also notes that investors need to hold McMahon accountable on Thursday's Q2 media call and ask how much longer is needed to create compelling stories and new stars that catch the public's imagination. Yeah, the problem is every time we've seen a bump in the ratings, it's because they've brought back, major talent with major drawing power. The problem is it's The Undertaker.
Yep.
It's Goldberg. It's Ric Flair.
Ultimately, it's coming. What they're saying is basically what we've been saying, and everyone's been saying about the WWE for years now.
Yeah.
Vince is out of touch with what the audience wants.
Right.
And every time he makes a change, because they do mention in the article, they'll make a change, but it always comes back to very similar to what it was, and no change has been made. So you have to hold Vince accountable because he constantly puts the blame on other people. Last fall, it was Eric Bischoff.
This year it was
the Michelle and I can't remember the other guy's name. And for the fourth
Heyman.
quarter. That's probably gonna be his excuse for this quarter.
I would not be surprised if the company, if they're not able to get the investors feeling comfortable with the company after today's call, or today's meeting, I'm willing to bet the next person to hit that axe, either to lay down on their own sword and walk away or get axed, will be probably Bruce Pritchard.
Well, yeah, because we must protect Vince McMahon. No.
Of course, no. I mean, even in this article, Lightshed noted WWE has plenty of time to fix their roster before going back into TV negotiations for Raw and SmackDown. So that's supposed to be late 2022. Especially with the talent pipeline that they have with NXT. They have a pipeline to build stars, build storylines, and bring them to a main audience. They speculated that a longer-term approach is more likely the right way to go. Even with ratings return more slowly, which would happen.
Yep.
It would slow the ratings, but you would start to see a climb until these people get to a point that they are mainstream noticed within the wrestling community.
Yep.
It was also speculated that Triple H, who heads up NXT Creative, could be a big help in fixing the main roster issues. We've called for this.
Yep.
The entire wrestling community has called for this. And the only people that are not paying attention to that call, and clearly now even investment firms are calling for this, is WWE in itself. They're not willing to pull the trigger, and as a company, approach Vince and go, get your shit together or get out the door.
Yeah.
You've got two choices now. Either surround yourself with people who are going to build this all up and take a step back, or put Triple H in control and retire.
Yep. Well, they can't force him out because he owns the company.
Well, yeah, being the position that he's in.
No, he owns majority of the ownership share of
Really?
the company. Yeah. When they went to public, they released originally only a small portion of the...
74. He should be retired.
I know, but he would then die.
Most likely. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, that would be terrible.
He would die because he's a workaholic, and if he can't work, he would die.
Let him work on his other projects. Let him pursue something else.
You mean his failed football that has failed twice now?
I don't. I mean, this year's failure was not. They had a much better product.
Yes,
it was outside world influence that just
not necessarily.
It totally did.
The ratings were falling, but people showing up for the games was increasing.
Right.
So which is weird. So, but yeah, but you know what they say, Vince? Third time's a charm, right?
Of course, give it. I mean, why not? Try it one more time.
Go and purchase the rights back like you want to, just so you didn't have to pay your debts.
Mm-hmm.
Because you all know that's what you were doing. And then give it a third time. But make sure you actually put $500 million into it this time and actually put that much money in. But who knows? Only time will tell. Hopefully, investors will get smart. But here's the thing: some investors out there don't give a shit about the TV ratings as long as the profits are up.
Right.
But that's the thing, though, is WWE's entire market is around the TV ratings right now, and those are dying. So when they can't get a better TV deal or maintain the TV deal that they have, their profits will sink.
Yes.
And they're gonna have to bail out, release so much more people, and it won't be investable at all because you won't be able to pull off what they've done to keep the money. They'll have to cut so much.
Exactly.
But it's just people are finally realizing that they can't recommend it. It's because Vince wants what he wants, and if he tries something new, he doesn't like it, so he goes back to what he wants. He doesn't give a shit about what anyone else, because it's what he wants. It's his product.
Exactly.
But then he stresses himself out because the ratings are up, and he can't figure out why.
So
he can't figure out why people don't like what he likes.
Before the company went public, he could continue to get away with doing whatever he liked because he didn't have to deal with investors.
Yep.
He didn't have to deal with a board of I forget what the board is.
Board of trustees.
Board of trustees who are there to run the company for the investors.
No, because the board of trustees, the way it works is you can have the board is made up of people within the company.
Well, yeah, but they're supposed to do what the investors are complaining about.
Yes, but because Vince owns the majority in most companies, bigger companies, you don't have one person who owns the majority of the shares.
That's true.
Anymore. They have the person who usually founded it has a big ownership of the company, but they don't have majority ownership.
As a single person, they have majority, but it's because they have the highest number of shares out of anybody else. But it still sits at like a peak of 30%.
Yeah, it's like 30% of the company, but they are not. Whereas Vince owns, I think he's down to like 55 now.
Yeah, he purposely rebought his own stocks at one point, sold a bunch of them off, brought them back.
So I can't remember, but he doesn't have as much as he when they first went public. Because it was like small. I think it was like only like 10% of the company was available. Because part of it was mostly just to like, as he was put it, it was for just to thank the fans after coming out of the Attitude Era, like when they with WWE.
Yeah.
Like the product, they helped us survive. Why not give them a piece of the product? And then they went more and more corporate because like, we actually get people were actually interested in buying our stock, real investors.
Yeah.
And that became the issue. Not that he cares, but overall, shape up, Vince, or ship out.
I'm
gonna fuck the owl.
Yes, it's all the owl's fault. I'm really gonna be interested in seeing what excuses
I know
WWE uses to push themselves forward at this point.
I know. I do too. Especially when they don't have a video game coming out this year.
Yeah, that's.
They do, but they're not the typical video game.
No, it's a stupid little. It's a stupid arcade game.
Yeah.
It looks like it should have been a mobile game, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, I also love the fact that people pointed out that Daniel Bryan would not have an entrance on a helicopter.
No, he wouldn't.
Like, that's just. He's an eco guy. He'd probably ride in on some sea turtles. Yeah. That would probably have been more. You know what? Never mind. Moving on. Let's go over. You know what? Let's continue going with the corporate road.
Okay.
WWE Network. They're pulling back on the plan of having the tiered system.
Yep. So apparently, because if you didn't know what we're talking about, the idea was eventually to introduce tiers into the network where you could have the free tier content. You could pay like I think they were going to have like a 5, a 7, a 10, a 12 maybe, or maybe I think it was like 10 and then 15.
I know at one point they introduced like 6 different tiers.
Yeah,
and then there was another version which was only like a 4-tier system.
Yeah,
where it was like free and you get a bunch of like a certain level of older content.
A little bit of older content, some of the newer stuff, but nothing
but not the pay-per-views.
Definitely not the pay-per-views. You had to. I think they were gonna push the pay-per-view. I think all pay-per-views were gonna be the $15 price point, but you could get maybe the big 4 or 5 at the $10 or something like that.
It was one of those that I was like, if you enjoy the WWE Network and having all of that access for $10, you're going to have to pay double that to continue to be able to access all of the entertainment that you're currently getting. And from what I heard, there was going to be no grandfathering.
Yep. There's also going to talk about bringing in some indie content stuff.
Progress.
Evolve.
Yes, thank you.
But they just bought Evolve, so they own they own the library, so they can put it on there regardless because they actually own it now.
Right, but no, it was supposed to be like the live shows.
Yeah, they were supposed to actually put not necessarily a live show, but they were going to use older content from other companies that they have deals with around the world, like over in the UK.
Their major shows were going to be live on the network.
Live on the network, but they could also use their library to help. And all that, but now that they're going away from that again, because Vince constantly changes his fucking mind about this stuff.
I didn't think it was going to be a great idea when they were like, we're going to do a tiered system. And
I actually thought it was a good idea, honestly, because here's the thing,
without the grandfather system in there, I would have been like, cool. So you cut my content in half. Thanks, guys. And I also heard that through this, that WrestleMania was never going to be included.
That was one of the most recent versions of it.
Okay.
The original, that would be part of the $15,
$20 zone.
I never heard of $20 zone.
Oh, I did. $19.99.
Yeah, I think that was only I don't think it was actually held for that very long because almost everyone I've ever heard of, the highest price point was going to be $15.
Yeah.
Because that's right around the Netflix price.
Yeah.
So that's what they were holding for all the
honestly,
content.
$15 a month is not bad.
No, see, to me, I actually like the tier program. Like, if I only watch I think they were gonna have an NXT kind of package. Like, if you watch NXT and stuff like that, and you want their network specials, you could get, for the $10, you could get that stuff. But if you want the WWE pay-per-views, you have to pay the $15. Which to me,
Suddenly you see people not getting the 15 and then the WWE main roster stuff. They're just like, so no one's watching the main roster. They're only watching NXT and the indie stuff, which means, Vince, that we're more interested in that level of product.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, if their pay-per-views were worth paying money for, which they're not.
Yep.
I would have gotten the 15, even if it was just for the pay-per-views. NXT takeovers when I get them, and if I happen to go back and want to watch some of the older content at some point, because every so often I would do that, but not that much. But
I mean, I like going back and looking at the old stuff as well, especially every once in a while when you're like, you hear about, they're like, hey, did you know that so and so had an amazing match back at In Your House in '95, and I'm like, they did. I thought that's supposed to be one of the worst pay-per-views ever. And they're like, yes, but this one match is amazing. I'm like, all right, let me go watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things, but their pay-per-views aren't worth the money, so it's not worth it. I think that's why they're getting rid of the tier system, because they realized if they did a tier system, how much money they would end up, no one would buy the higher tiers.
No, they wouldn't.
Because they realized people's like, oh, $10 a month. I already had that. We had them locked in for that. People have forgotten about it. But they did come back and they said, wait, I thought I had access to these pay-per-views and I no longer had them. And they go like, oh, $15 to get that? Oh, never mind. I'm just going to cancel my account now. And they would even lose more money.
Exactly.
So I think
exactly.
But yeah, it's dumb. It all comes down to what you do with your product, and if you want people to pay money, you have to have a good product. And look at AEW. They've gone the old pay-per-view model still.
Yeah.
Charge about $50 for the pay-per-view for the most part.
People are buying it.
And people were buying it. Nowhere where they were back in the Attitude Era, because wrestling is not as hot as it was back then. but people are still buying that because they've seen what AEW does on a regular TV basis.
Mm-hmm.
They've seen what they do on a pay-per-view, so they know when they cash out $50,
they're getting a good show.
they're gonna get a good show worthy of that $50.
Yes. It's not like buying a Mike Tyson fight and being like, all right, I spent $50 on this pay-per-view. Let's watch the first half hour of two people talking in the back, a couple of interviews. There's the bell, and the match is over.
Yeah.
I paid $50 for this.
Well, this is why. That's why UFC was smart and actually put a whole fucking card on.
Yes. Because even if you did get a super fast match,
even if every single match on the card is super fast, you still had multiple matches, and that means if they are ending fast, they were good, like submissions, takedowns.
Yep.
And it was like, oh my god,
nobody was bored about this.
yeah. So that's the smart thing, but yeah. All right, what's next on the docket?
We got a speaking of pay-per-views, or more accurately, the network specials.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting a tease for Evolution 2.
Yeah.
I really want to call it Evolution 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I actually was thinking of something similar to that. No, or something like the Evolution 2, the new evolution.
The next evolution.
The next evolution.
It should just be like the next evolution. Evolution 3. This is the third time. Evolution 4. You know this is the fourth one.
No, they know what they should do. They should do. No, every single evolution after the first one should be called Evolution, and some kind of Pokemon evolution ripoff.
Magikarp.
Oh no, but take like Omega Evolution, or like
Silver Evolution,
or like
Bronze Evolution,
or some play off some of the wrestlers' names, like Evolution Straight Fire, of reference to Becky Lynch's old gimmick before she became the man. Stuff like that, like
okay,
something like that.
I like it.
That'd be hilarious.
But yeah, it looks like we're getting Evolution 2.
And there's been some tease, and apparently the rumored date is August 30th, which is the Sunday of the week after SummerSlam.
Oh.
So I don't know why they would do two shows back to back like that, but
this is WWE that we're talking about. They have done this already with the Saudi Arabia show, which they promote as being one of the big shows of the year. And then 2 weeks after that, they're like, "Oh yeah, and here's King of the Ring." Here's Fastlane. Fastlane, yeah. Here's Fastlane. Here's Backlash suddenly.
Yep.
Which, by the way, Backlash still is not the pay-per-view directly after WrestleMania.
No.
Which it should be, because it's the Backlash from WrestleMania. You know what? Never mind.
We've had this. We've had this already. Money in the Bank. I don't mind Money in the Bank being there because I do kind of like that. You start with the Money in the Bank winner right after WrestleMania, because when it used to be at WrestleMania.
So put a Money in the Bank match at Backlash.
No, because Money in the Bank, it has that, because of what you're doing. It has that King of the Ring type feel.
Yeah.
So it should really be June, obviously.
Should be.
So be that Big 5 pay-per-view, which they apparently wanted to do, but they put it now next to WrestleMania, the biggest pay-per-view. So to have another big pay-per-view right after there.
Which means that it doesn't feel like a big pay-per-view.
Because it's coming after WrestleMania.
Yeah. There's no break.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I hope we do get this, because they should have done one last year.
Yes.
They should be doing one every year.
Yes. Exactly.
But it will be interesting to see how they go about this, if it will happen, and go from there. But I do hope it happens.
I hope so too.
So what's next on the docket?
Especially since we're talking about ladies, and the fact that Sasha and Bayley are being used as often as Charlotte was. But honestly, it doesn't feel like they're being overbooked and overused right now.
Yeah, it's funny how when you do the Omni-Flare push to people who've been under-pushed or underutilized, or just giving it something to do something on Raw because they were the biggest names that you actually had in that women's division you had over there, so you had no choice. And yet, when you actually push them and really use them, no one really cares that they're being overused.
What?
Because we feel like, oh, they're fine. This is what they should have been doing the whole time. Not to this level of over push, but being used in this element.
Yes, that they're being used to showcase other talent.
Yeah.
You know, that's honestly, I feel that the women's tag team division really has been all about showcasing other talent outside of the tag champions.
What tag division are you talking about? Because there's no tag division. I mean, and I'm talking about both men and women here.
Well, yeah. The quote-unquote women's tag division.
Yeah.
They have belts for it.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, like now it feels like Sasha and Bayley are being used to help showcase other talent.
I think that's what they are trying to do. It's not what WWE's trying to do.
No, but it feels that way.
Yeah. But here's the thing I brought this up to Adam because for a specific reason.
Yes. What?
It's funny as how like Charlotte got kayfabe injury by Nia Jax, but she didn't really sell in her injury to get written off TV for a while.
Yep.
Which, by the way, Charlotte, please recover from surgery that you just had this week.
Yes.
Get better. We do know this means she won't be able to be at SummerSlam anyway. From that.
Just honestly.
Yeah, I know, but hope
she would have won.
Yeah, your recovery is great, but it's funny how then you also have your other big name, Becky Lynch, who's out because she's pregnant, and it's amazing how you can just slide these two in. It's very seamlessly, not change anything, and it works, and people like it because these people they should have been pushed as well this well as long as Charlotte and Becky have. And we all know Becky only got the push because when she got turned heel, the fans finally got what they wanted from it all this entire time, and they were forced to back off the fucking heel turn.
I know.
Because of it. But that's the only reason they went with Becky. And now we put these two because they don't have the option of Flair or Becky. So they had no choice, but they had them in the perfect little spot. They could slide them in because they needed them. What would happen if you had more talent in these spots? Unlike from Bayley and Sasha, where they're really in that spot because you had no choice, and they're just that damn good that they can get over in whatever you give them.
Exactly.
But you actually had people in these spots not because being held back, but they're in good spots that if all of a sudden someone gets injured, something happens, they have to walk away. I don't know if pandemic happens and your biggest star Roman Reigns says, for my health and my family, who I just had twins, I'm not going to come to work.
I can't come to work right now.
You could have someone slide in who's ready for that top, not necessarily being the top dog,
no,
but a main event level. If you with a few weeks of a good push, he could slide in and be good.
That, for me, was one of the great things about both the Attitude Era, because you had such a plethora of mid-card guys that you could literally just move any one of them up to fill spots at the main event level, or shift them over and be like, all right, we need you guys to work in the tag team division right now. Ooh, can we have you work in the hardcore division? We're going to move you up into the main event because so-and-so has to go for surgery for a while. He'll be out. Because of that. And we also saw it in the Ruthless Aggression era, but that was because they had so much talent in the beginning.
Not near the end.
No, but like I'm talking the 2002 to 2006 range.
Yeah.
By 2008, it's wearing off. Though also 2008's where the PG era starts coming in. But like, it went from we have so many guys that can be in the main event picture that anytime we lose somebody that's up there for any reason, sickness, injury, whatever, we're able to move somebody else up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they were making the same mistakes back in the Attitude Era that they still make now, where like if you had someone who's over as a very talkative, arrogant heel like Billy Gunn, who got really over with the fans. So when you actually finally try to push him to like a main event level, you don't let him do what he was doing, and he immediately flops because he got over doing this one character, and you're like, no, we're not gonna let you. Can't do that. We're gonna have the right to censor cheat to beat you, so you can't use Mr. Ass. So we're gonna call you the one and only Billy Gunn, and not let you be the Mr. Ass because you were censored. Sounds like, you know what right to censor seems like?
What, it is the PG era?
No, it was the pre-dating of cancel culture.
I can't believe you, good sir. I never. Yeah, no, they totally were, but
it
like,
just goes. The same thing goes for like when you had the Miz. The first time he went to babyface, it was worse. They would not let him be the Miz in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that was weird.
He was a little bit of the Miz the second time he was babyface, but not like he was. If you let the Miz fire a promo like he did to Bryan,
yes,
on Talking Smack, because he was on the show and he's the Intercontinental Champion, and he just blows up, and you let him do that as a babyface, he would have gotten way over more than he did as a babyface.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, "Oh, he can't be a babyface if fans don't like him, just don't like him." No, you don't let him be his character. It's figuring out how to use that character in a babyface way, and you literally do The Rock for him.
Yeah.
He just does that same thing to other people who are bigger heels, and he would get on over.
Exactly.
Guaranteed. But they made a lot of the same mistakes there. But yes, you had that sliding era because you had so much talent, and not all of them worked as a main eventer, but because they were filling a spot and you saw that they worked, when it was time to play, you could easily bring them back down.
Exactly.
Either because they weren't ready for that spot at that time, or they just were not going to be a main eventer.
Yeah, I mean, who was it that had a promo with The Rock and it ruined them? Was it Billy Gunn?
It was Billy Gunn.
Yeah,
because it was
was the worst idea, was to allow The Rock to just, because Dwayne has said that he was told to go out there and decimate Billy Gunn, because they thought that, Rock making fun of people would get them over.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked for some.
It worked. The people who worked for were already over.
Yeah,
it just became part of the site. It became part of the whole reason why these two are feuding, because Rock had no respect for them. And he's insulting them, but they were already over, so it didn't hurt them. When you have
Jericho is a great example. Jericho was over before he even appeared.
But see, the thing is, because Jericho was so good on the mic when he debuted, and Jericho's reaction to being slaughtered by The Rock got him over. Also, Jericho was already over if people knew him, but because of how he talked, the people who didn't know who he was because they didn't watch WCW, the few people at that time, but they got to see, like, okay, I'm going to boo him. I don't like him because The Rock is making fun of him. But it wasn't because...
But he's not backing down in any way.
He's like, you shut up. Like shut up. And it was all part of the performance because Jericho knew how to sell an insult.
Oh, did you ever hear about the time that Jericho was cutting a promo in Calgary on Vince?
Maybe.
His mic died. Now, this was a moment where Jericho kind of knew that his mic wasn't supposed to die. So he went back, grabbed another mic, and tossed the dead mic out into the audience. When everyone went backstage, Vince was like, "What the hell do you think you're doing, tossing mics to the crowd?" And he's like, "Austin does it. Austin gets a dead mic, he just throws it and keeps going." And he's like, "Well, you're not Austin." And he goes, "I know. I'm better." And walked away from Vince. Just like, now mind you, this is still within, I want to say, 3 years of him coming into the company.
No, I not
and
hear about
Jericho's just like, "Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just going to go ahead and flop my dick on the table in front of you, Vince. Do something about it. We're in my hometown right now. I am the most over guy you have in your locker room in this building right this second. And you got The Rock and Austin back there. I am more over than they are because this is my hometown.
Yep.
You want to tell me that I can't cater to the audience? Go right ahead. I'm going to grab a mic and go back out there later tonight." It was just like, ooh. I mean, didn't say those words, but it was like, Austin does it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not Austin. I know, I'm better than him.
I'm better.
It's just like, thanks for pointing out that I'm not Austin. I know that.
But yeah, it's just, oh, God. But getting back on topic with Bayley and Sasha.
Yes.
It was interesting to see how they decided to go with this move to put the Raw title on Sasha, because the rumors were up until last week where they literally teased, because we all knew Kairi Sane wants to go back to Japan because she got married.
Yep.
In February. So the idea was they were going to have Asuka's opponent for SummerSlam attack and take out Kairi with a career-ending injury.
Of course.
Well, this is because I think she was going back if she didn't resign or do something, be like an ambassador or something like that for Japan. It was going to be the end of her career.
According to WWE.
Yeah, I know.
Because nothing exists outside of WWE.
Exactly. But it was going to be that way, and that would build towards the program. And they teased it was going to be Shayna Baszler.
Makes sense.
And then this week, Shayna Baszler had a match. No, she didn't have a match. They were going to have a match. They built it all up. And then the two just brawled. I don't remember. I just basing off what I remember from Wrestle Talks.
Oh, okay.
Review. But you're supposed to have a match. But in this matchup, you had them come out. Asuka and Kairi came out, and Kairi chased Bayley off. And then near the end of the matchup, I want to know who Bayley paid to have the in the truck to have them turn the camera that they're recording on to appear in the arena.
Ooh.
Or was there another person who was involved here? Because that's the only way you get that on the screen. Because
it's Shayna. Shayna threatened somebody in the truck.
So it showed Bayley beating up Kairi, and Asuka was determined. What do I do? Do I win the match? Go and help Kairi? Do I go help Kairi? Like, she eventually runs off, gets counted out. Sasha wins the title, and all that. So,
really?
See, I don't mind
count out loss is how she loses the title. A couple of weeks after literally having it stolen from her.
But see, the thing is, though, I don't mind it because remember, this is where Asuka actually.
Jeez.
Did you just break your chair?
No. So my chair is old enough that occasionally the lift will just give out.
Yeah, the chair that my mom had in her sewing room that I just took downstairs, it broke before I left. Ooh. So you sit down and it just goes all the way down.
Right straight to the floor.
I had to put a PCP pipe in there to hold it up, but that didn't really help the support in my back. I brought another one up from the chair, and that one's like the chair I'm sitting in now. Board.
Yeah,
no padding.
There's no padding. It's just a board.
So
I'm sorry.
But yeah, so it's just like I don't mind it because one, Asuka basically was just handed the belt. She didn't know she was fighting for it.
That's true.
With the Money in the Bank. So having her lose by the count out, but they were treating it like the title was vacated when WWE.com has confirmed Asuka was still the champion. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was fine with it because it worked. I like when you had these kind of stipulations, the title can change hands by count out, submission, DQ, all that. I like when you have that and you actually use that. And it works in the way that they're using Sasha and Bayley right now. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But Bayley, it looks like, unless they have Kairi show up on SmackDown, and that's where she's going to get taken out.
Nope.
Bayley's the one who took out Kairi.
Yeah.
So is Asuka going to go after Bayley instead of Sasha? I don't know. But I will say
Welcome to WWE Creative, where they, once again, Rikishi's going to walk out there and go, I did it for The Rock.
But here's
niece.
But here's the thing.
For Snoop Dogg's niece.
They teased it last week. That was the first episode of the tapings. For this week was taped last week. So they tease Shayna, but then go in a different direction.
Can you imagine how that taping would have worked? Shayna's like, all right, so it's going to clearly be me. We'll be doing that later tonight. All right, cool. Let me look at the production schedule for the next taping. Where am I?
I have a match, but I'm not in getting involved.
And I'm seeing that it's Bayley. Who approved this?
I know. It's just like, oh my God. I mean, I don't mind. I actually kind of like it because I didn't think they were going to pull the trigger on them having all the belts, but I like it.
I don't mind it. I actually
really
don't
like
mind
it.
For me, it reminds me of the two-man power trip all over again.
Yep. I'll get to that in a second.
And I liked the two-man power trip.
Yeah, it got cut short because Triple H had to go out there and tear his quad.
What the hell, buddy?
Come on, jerk. Come on, Triple H. I thought you were a professional. I thought you knew how to plant your leg and hit someone and not get injured.
He did plant his leg, and it's still...
He did do it correctly. It's just his muscles apparently didn't realize. It's like, no, we don't like this.
And then he got put in the walls of Jericho to finish the match.
Yeah, damn.
Oh.
No one can say Triple H is not tough because, dude. He told Jericho, he's like, oh, you just want to skip that? He's like, no, just put me in the chair. Put me in the walls of care.
Like,
no.
I could see...
He
like,
literally told Jericho.
In the lock-up.
He's like, just thank
Jericho takes a moment, pushes him back, just looks at him like, what is wrong with you?
Like, no, just put me
and then goes, all right.
And it's like, dude, it's like, okay.
Gently punches him in the face. Like, the most gentle punch in the face to, like, get him to go down. Triple H, of course.
They were on the announce table.
I know.
Too. So it's just like, but it's just funny. So it's like, what? You want me to skip the Jericho? The walls? It's like, no, just do it. And like, are you sure? Yeah, just do it. Okay. He's just probably like, I swear to God.
The entire time, he's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
He's probably just like, I swear to God, if I get any heat for this.
I'm going to get fired for this. This is what I'm going to get fired for.
I'm going to beat the shit out of it. And I know where to hit him now. But, no, it just like I like the move because obviously Sasha and Bayley are the two biggest names now with Charlotte gone.
Yep. And with Becky out.
Yeah, like you just have to build. You have no choice but to build talent. This would be a good way to do is you can build Asuka back up correctly for the women's title.
Exactly.
And get those dominant, actually good actual wins, strong wins, not Bayley wins on them. To keep her strong.
Yep.
And do that. Build up Shayna. Even if you're not going to put the belt on her. At least use her in a way that she can be a big match fight for Asuka or other people. But speaking of putting the belts on the two people.
Yes.
Ember Moon is not happy that they have put all their belts on two people. She says there's too many talented women that could be using those. Which I agree with.
Totally agree with it.
But fortunately, WWE, none of them are at that level to, if you put the belts on them, even the women's tag titles, it would devalue those belts.
Honestly, I want you to answer this question right now. And in the audience, if you guys go ahead and put your answers down in the comments below, who do you think in the women's division right now could step up and fill the hole if Bayley and Sasha had to disappear for a while?
They'd have to do a lot of rebuilding with this person to get her there, but Naomi. She just had the whole Naomi deserves better hashtag.
For me?
By the way, Booker T, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't hear?
No, I don't know anything about this.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
So he went on a rant on his podcast about he's sick and tired of these hashtags. You earn your spot, blah 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 blah, and it's basically just like it was like, I get where he's coming from. He's coming from the old school mind frame. To get to those levels or TV, you have to earn your spot. I completely agree with that.
Yep.
But he's going off on like this. The fans are saying by saying she deserves better. She's saying she has earned that spot and has not been given that. She's giving a karaoke contest.
Yep. Because it's the fans that tell your company whether or not you're over.
Yeah. And
hashtags are a new tool for that.
Yes, but he's so sick of all these hashtags things, and it was like, I love Alexa Bliss's response to this, to his tweet like this, because she responded and like, I can't remember the exact thing. Google it.
Okay.
Alexa Bliss's response to Booker T on about Naomi.
Okay.
You'll see it. It's a great little thing. But Ember Moon is just going on about how there's like more women out there, and I agree. But there's no one outside of Asuka, Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, who have been used consistently, decently, in the last 6 months. that you could actually use. And for the women's tag titles,
that's not
it would just be terrible overall.
I'm finding stuff from like December.
Okay, hold on. Alexa Bliss responds to Booker T's hashtag remarks.
Yeah, I got Sasha Banks slamming Booker T.
Oh, it was Sasha Banks. My bad.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
in Twitter post.
Yes, I'm sorry. It was Sasha Banks, but I don't know why.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We're better than Harlem Heat. Now can you dig that sucker?
I didn't hear about that one, but...
Oh, that's her direct tweet response to him.
Oh, no, that was a different one that I liked about hers.
Oh, yeah. Spoke about Sasha Banks and Bayley on his podcast where he praised both women as a team, but he believes that Bayley is not great at anything, just good. So, yeah, Sasha Banks stands up for her friend. And this was at the beginning of the month. We're better than Harlem Heat. Now, can you dig that sucker?
Okay, no, this is the one I had. She wrote directly to this. It's like, response to Naomi's like, don't feed into this useless opinions, no matter who they come from. Keep glowing and shining like you always do. You ain't got nothing to prove to anyone. Hashtag team bad.
All right.
I forgot. Yeah, the whole team bad. If I would have remembered team bad, I would have made it was on Alexa Bliss.
See, stand up, ladies. Get your voices heard. Don't let people tell you that you don't deserve to be at a spot because they don't think you belong there.
It just shows that to me that Booker T's yes, he has the right mind from a pro wrestling of the traditional.
Yeah.
But he's so much of a. I'm putting it this way. He's such from the WWE mind frame that he thinks that you still do that, and you'll get that spot when you don't.
No.
If Vince doesn't like you, you don't get the spot. You don't get used.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know how to use Naomi. And
no, I honestly kind of feel that also Ember Moon should be further up.
If she can come back.
Alicia Fox.
No, she's been retired.
Oh, bring her back.
But no, if Ember Moon can come back to wrestling because her Achilles injury,
yeah,
is looking like it may be the end of her career. But if she does ever come back, she should have been higher. Should be higher up on the.
Okay.
There.
Her top rope stunner,
yeah, I know,
is amazing.
I love that
finisher. It is
finisher.
An awesome move.
Yep. Especially when you gotta Google the when she won the NXT title, in the Fatal 4-Way.
Yep.
She hit it double on I think it was Nikki Cross and Peyton Royce. Seeing how Peyton Royce took it, and how she hit it, she basically shot up and spun before falling.
Oh, that's
which is
cool.
It's a great little sell job, which just goes to show Peyton Royce is. I mean, she's still learning.
Underappreciated.
I mean, back at that time, she was still green. She's still a little green now, and because she's not used as much overall.
Exactly. But, it's hard to earn your stripes, if you will, if you're not doing anything.
But even back then, she was definitely really good selling at certain spots. She should have been the one that won the belt because there was literally a hashtag on Twitter saying, "Poll, who do you think is going to win?" And people said Peyton Royce.
See?
Basically saying they wanted Peyton Royce because she proved to them she was, because of her character, the whole iconic duel, because that's what they were calling in NXT before they became the Iconics.
The Iconics?
The Iconics, because the Iconic duel was potentially a trademark issue, and they didn't. And if they can't own it, you can't use it.
Too close to the Dynamic duo?
I don't know, but apparently it was a possible trademark.
I use my own version on my channel for on Zop Gaming for myself and Jedi. We're the not so dynamic duo.
See, I've stolen the dynamic duel for a tag team, and it just became, I just named it the dynamic, which is what their name was.
Unlike you and I, we're not going around and trying to copyright these things.
Oh yeah, I think you could copyright dynamic, or trademark it for like T-shirts and all that.
The dynamic.
Dynamic is what they were called. The team was, and then it became a three-woman stable.
But you can just call it much like for a while, it was, so and so had a nickname.
Yeah.
And then they went, no, that's officially part of the Stone Cold Steve Austin. For a while, he was just Steve Austin, and they added in Stone Cold as a nickname. And then they went, nope. Now his official trademarked name is Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm like, okay, I hate you, WWE. You have to trademark every single stupid thing. Fine.
But no, because the way my stable was going to work, what I was doing was I wanted to have their name. The stable name was originally going to be I think it was Bitches.
Whoa.
Because it's going to be
I don't think you can get away with that.
No, it was going to be Bithes, and each word was going to stand for like beautiful, intimidating, like something like that.
Beautiful, intelligent.
And the tag team
Beastly
was Dynamic. But I kept forgetting what their fucking name. I called them the stable name and Dynamic. The difference was I kept referring to Dynamic. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna call them Dynamic.
The entire stable is now the Dynamic.
It just works.
All right.
So I wanted that acronym because it was gonna be like, we're like, and they were gonna say it, and like, yeah, so we're bitches, kind of like PMS was stable in WWE. It didn't stand for that what you think it was. It was, I can't remember what they called it.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But so it's kind of going in that mind frame. But I just wasn't actually using, PMS, which today would definitely not go over well.
No, not at all.
Using the acronym bitches in the right way, you could get away with.
Oh, you can get away with it. Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people out there. I don't have no problem being a bitch, because I am this.
I am a bitch.
I
own
beautiful.
that.
I'm beautiful, intimidating, whatever all the words were.
Much like guys can go, no, I'm a bastard.
I'm a dick.
Drew McIntyre. Sorry about your kitty, buddy. As a cat lover, I totally understand.
There is only one Scottish who is a bastard, and that is Pac. I don't know if he's Scottish though.
Well, he is the bastard.
No, he's the bastard, but there's no other person who can be a bastard.
In fact, I got to relook at that. I don't think he's Scottish either. I think he's English.
Yeah, I think he's English now. Regardless, there's only one person who is a bastard, and that is Pac.
Oh, for crying out loud. There we go.
I was gonna say
Pac AEW is what you have to put him in as.
I swear to
English.
God. Okay, English. Regardless, there's only one
Newcastle upon Tyne.
I don't care. There's only one person, and that is Pac, who's the bastard.
He is a bastard.
I
haven't really even seen him on Twitter lately either.
McIntyre is the a psychotic psychopath, or the Scottish psychopath.
Yes, he is.
But getting back on point, the reason why you put the belts on Becky and Bayley is Sasha and Bayley is because they are over. They haven't been used to anywhere close to their fullest potential since coming to the main roster, and it just works. And yes, it would have been great if Asuka retained and all that, but this title run just didn't work because they handed the belt because of Becky getting pregnant, then not booking her strong and eking out wins, and losing twice to Charlotte before for non-title matches. That's not how you build your champion. Well, we want her to be the underdog. Asuka is never gonna be the underdog. Everyone remembers her undefeated streak for 2.5 years.
Yeah, you can't.
No matter how bad you've booked her in the past, no one's ever gonna think that Asuka is an underdog.
Not at all.
So stop trying to make her get that underdog feel, because you think every single person who's your lead babyface must be an underdog.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Never understood that.
No, neither did I.
Anyway.
It's like trying to make Hulk Hogan or John Cena the underdog. There's one time Hulk Hogan was the underdog. When he faced Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know for a fact if Andre was going to just go rogue in that matchup, and he decided to win the belt.
John Cena and The Big Show.
Yeah, but John Cena and The Big Show were really good friends.
Yes.
Are good friends.
And Lesnar.
Yeah. John Cena and Big Show are good friends, so he didn't ever have to worry about that.
Yeah, but at the same time, Big Show could have just looked at him and went, "So I'm winning this match," and John goes, "Yes, you are. You know what? That hand is as big as my face. So yeah, you can win."
And you've seen the results of what that hand can do.
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, he's put the blame on Kofi. Kofi said that it's because of the Big Show slap that he has an indented chest now.
And at the same time, Big Show is a big cuddly giant who's just like, "I'm so sorry."
But yeah. So what's the next on the docket?
We got to wrap it up. That's the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta leave.
Yeah, you do.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let us know down in the comment section what you thought of the show. What do you think of the use of Sasha and Bayley? Was it the right move? Do you agree with that? You don't mind them being pushed as much as they are, like Charlotte, or do you think it is too much? Let us know down in the comment section. Also, let us know what you think of the excuse for WWE for why the ratings are still fucking dying.
Yes.
For that. And since it's right there and you've been listening to us for over a half hour, hit that thumbs up. You're clearly liking like what you're listening to.
Boop.
No sound effects. We've said this before. No sound effects for the thumbs up. You only get the...
I have no idea if that actually... In front of the mic. I'm trying to give something here.
I'm talking about you. If you do if it counts the extra thumb snapping with
Move
no
on.
sound effects for you.
Boop.
No sound effects. Anyway, also, since it's right there and you give me that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Ring that bell.
Ding! Ding!
And turn on all the notifications so you know when all As the Buckle turns, fantasy booking, and NUA.
New England Wrestling Alliance. Slamming Saturdays.
NUA goes live. Oh, and so Adam.
Yeah.
You know what? You can get bent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like WWE and their excuses because of COVID, because of 5G.
Get the hell out of my house.